What's up, guys? Welcome to a new series called Comedian Reviews, where I take things and then I review them for you, me being stand-up comedian Ryan Cunningham. So what I have been testing these last few days is the Comica boomx-d2. So that is the Comica boomx-d that comes with 2 transmitters and 1 receiver, which is perfect for interviews and things like that. For me personally, I got them for a show that I'm going to be creating, which you guys will find out more about in the future. The first thing I'm going to do is go through a few pros and cons of the system that I noticed. So, pros. Initially, when I was looking at different mics to get, I was looking at the Rode Go, which is basically the same thing. It's a wireless mic, transmitter, receiver, lavalier type system. The reason I ended up going with the Comica instead, number one, it had awesome reviews. Also, because say I did decide to go with the Rode Go, what I would have needed is 2 receivers and 2 transmitters, which would have run me about $400 if I decided to do that. This Comica was not even close to $400. It also had just the 1 receiver and the 2 transmitters. So you mount the receiver on the cold shoe and then it's perfect. One thing I will say about connecting to your phone is I did notice a huge difference in audio quality. Well, actually, number one, audio quality when I was using my phone versus when I was using my camera, the when I was using my camera, the Canon EOS 6D Mark II, versus when I was using my cell phone, which I can't even remember what it is. It's I think maybe a Phoenix something, but the point is it's a $35 smartphone. But I noticed audio quality difference and also a huge difference in range, where the Canon could actually pick me up from a decent distance with my back turned to the receiver, whereas my cell phone, pretty much the second I turned around, could not pick up any sort of sound or anything like that if I was not facing the receiver, which you guys will see that in the test. But that's really interesting to me. I have no idea why that is the case, but I tested it on multiple different times, and consistently I could get much more range if it was connected to my camera than if it was connected to my cell phone. So if you are someone who is using a cell phone primarily to record, that may be something to consider, but also remember every cell phone is going to be different. One of the pros is that it's very small, it's easy, it feels like it's pretty durable. If I took a hefty fall or applied a lot of pressure to it, would it break? Yeah, probably, but it's not like it's made out of a super cheap plastic or anything like that. It feels like it could take a little bit of damage. One thing that a lot of people complained about was that it did not have a carrying case, which, who cares? For me, it wasn't a big deal. I have this carrying case that came with one of my Samson mics, and I threw all this stuff in there, and I'm not tripping. Another big pro is, again, when it is connected to the camera, it seems like it has a huge range. If I am like way out and I'm facing the camera, when I'm facing away from the camera, it seems to be hit or miss. If I'm sideways, it seems to pick me up pretty good. Now, one thing that you can do, which again I'm going to show in another test, is that you can connect it to your smartphone. Say you're recording way out, you can connect the receiver to your smartphone and then have your transmitter right here, have the smartphone and the receiver clipped somewhere else on your body, and then you shouldn't have a sound issue at all. You just have to match your audio and your video together in post afterwards, but that is one way that you can get around the distance problem. But again, I mean, you had a pretty fair distance, but much better for me when connected to my Canon rather than my cell phone. a few cons, which I'm sure I can alleviate. Number one, let me just say I'm not a sound guy, so a lot of this stuff, you guys may be watching, you might be a little more educated than I am. I know for a fact that the entire time I was recording that everything was set to 6 dBs, and so one thing I noticed, which you guys will hear in my audio test, is that it picked up a little more than I wish it would have. One of the reasons that I wanted a system like this was to alleviate background noise, and it will do that a ton. But with that being said, you know, if I was running, you'd be able to hear my running. You'll be able to kind of see what I mean in some of the tests where I turn on my hoverboard and stuff like that, and then you can hear it. Or there's actually a moment where I pee and you can hear me peeing. So, you know, it's things like that. I would consider that a con, but maybe if I turn the decibels down, then that might be a fixed problem. I also did notice as well, if I got too close to my Wi-Fi router, which also operates on that similar 2 gigahertz, 2.5 gigahertz system, that I would get some feedback. So I would imagine if you were around a bunch of different cell phones that were their Wi-Fi was connected on the same frequency, that you would get some feedback. I don't think it's anything, I don't think anybody would notice it unless they were looking for it. So it's not like it's crazy terrible, but it's one thing that as I was listening to it, I did notice it, but I was also looking for things to complain about. Another con would be the fact that there's only one charging cable, and then there's 3 different devices that you have to charge. So if they had some sort of, you know, 3-way adapter that you could use, then that would be awesome. Another pro, you can pretty much record on any device with this thing. The only device that I recorded on that I was not able to capture what I wanted was on my laptop, and I tried it a bunch of different ways. I plugged the receiver in, I had it as a line in, as a mic in, as a headset. No matter what way I did it, it was just not able to connect and record. However, it looks like they sell a separate piece that you can buy as well that plugs in to the laptop, and that should allow you to be able to do that. But I was trying to be cheap and figure out a way to do it without that. All in all, I'd say this system is definitely worth the money. What you guys can do is you can go and you can watch my tests and you can see if it is the right system for you. I don't have any buyer's remorse. I feel great about this purchase, and it's going to enable me to do a lot of additional things that I'm excited to do. One test that was not included, but it was a test that I conducted, was being a stand-up comedian. I was a little bit worried about, okay, what if I have this on, say I'm recording a special, and I have this on because I wanted to capture just my audio, and then maybe have the other one somewhere in the audience to get some laughter and things like that. Obviously, there's no shows going on with COVID happening, but I know the audience thing would work fine. I'm not worried about that. What I was worried about was interference between the mic, interference between the PA system, and all of that stuff is going to vary between the PA system and the type of mic you're using and things like that. I didn't have a problem with it. It seemed to work just fine. The reason I did not include it was because my PA system has been having an error where it's picking up interference anyways from some other wireless microphone, or that's what it says. It's on that frequency, and that's been a problem since before I tested it with this system. So I just didn't want to give you guys like a false sense of, oh, it's got, you know, is getting feedback or whatever. That's just not usual. I don't think that would be the case. It was just something that was already happening with my PA system. But I will do some comedy videos with it and let you guys know if it's any different. Anyways, that's enough of me talking. Let's go ahead and move on to the tests. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Does it work? We will see. I'm gonna go walk around the house now, and I will be right back. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Right now I am facing away from the receiver, Now I am facing towards the receiver, walking towards the bathroom, a couple of walls in the way, over here. I gotta pee. Let's see if it can hear my pee or the toilet. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. I am peeing now. Peeing has commenced. I am not in the microphone or anything, just normal talking volume over my pee. All right, boom, and then flushing the toilet. I'm not washing my hands. I will be sanitizing them. Sanitizing my hands. And this is with the onboard mic, not the lavalier mic. And test completed. Okay, I am now testing the lavalier mic, which I imagine is probably a lot quieter. The other one was pretty loud. I'm also going to do a volume test. This is my normal talking voice, like normal whatever. So if I whisper, I wonder if it's going to pick up anything. Sindel is a stupid bitch. Sindel, if you could have anything in the world, what would it be?
I don't know. Probably a lifetime supply of food. My favorite food.
That's why you're a fat bitch.
Yep.
If you could, if you had $1 million, but you could only shop at one place, where would you shop?
I'd probably shop, I don't know, I'd probably pick one store and then I'd just get a bunch of different gift cards and put the money on different gift cards so I could shop anywhere I wanted to.
Okay, it's actually a decent answer. Okay, now I'm going to go again, walk into the other room, the kitchen, and then we're going to insult each other from different areas in different distances. I am lowering my speaking because the baby is sleeping. I am in the kitchen, facing towards the receiver. Sindel is a stupid bitch.
He doesn't know.
She is probably the dumbest person I know. She has zero maternal instincts.
He knows he likes me.
She's very short. She's not particularly athletic.
I'm not really going to insult Ryan.
She is never on time for anything.
Because I know better. But
she's not a very hard worker.
I don't know.
And
see, I'm not being Mr. Negative with my panties in a bunch right now.
That's it.
I'm actually in a good mood. So I won't say anything bad. Ha-ha.
All right. This is going to be the range test. I'm going to be riding my hoverboard. I have no idea about distancing or anything like that. So I'm just going to ride my hoverboard, let you guys judge what the distance is. And this is also with the built-in mic, no wind cover. So let's see how we do. All right. Obviously, I'm going to be facing away from it on the way down. It's been a while since I rode this thing. Hopefully I don't fall. Oh, sports car. Alright, hold on, guys. It's been a while. There we go. I drive a sports car just to prove. Made it on. Oh. my... Oh, probably disconnect Bluetooth. It's not turning. Here we go. Going up a hill. Now, ever think I'm going more than this, but just blue card. We can't even more. I gotta be several hundred. This is feet up. All right. Towards, and I'm coming back to you guys. Like I said, I have no idea about distance. I'm really bad at that kind of stuff. But I think at about 300 feet, probably getting back closer to 200 if I was a guessing man. Coming back at you. Should easily be picking me up right now as I'm facing towards the camera. And this is also on the smartphone. I'm going to be doing a separate test with the camera. Boom. Instead of my crappy $35 cell phone. Oh, I'm back. And I'm going to be doing the same test this time with the same mic, built-in mic, but now I have the wind thing on there, and I have a slightly different distance. So if I'm going to go to the same distance, but it's going to be a little bit further. Technically, I'm going to go to the same vehicle I went to last time. It's going to be a little bit further out, technically. One thing I also wanted to try is facing the camera, and then if I turn sideways over here and all the way around. Okay. Sorry, buddy, didn't mean to scare you. All right, testing, 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 testing. Oh, testing. All right, there was a cute girl. I couldn't be much of a dork, as usual. Testing, 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 testing. Gonna go all the way to this blue car, which is pretty far. Testing, 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 testing. Turning around. And testing, 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 testing. Should be able to hear me pretty easily. Boom. Didn't have a problem on the cell phone. Coming back to you. Oh, keep my balance. Alright, you probably can't see me. Now you should see me. See if that trash can blocked out any of my stuff. Now this is a pretty substantial distance, so I'm going to do the same side test. So front facing, side facing, rear facing, side facing, forward facing, and on my way back to you. Oh, you can blame it on me, baby, come back, do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do, oh, yeah, 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 and I'm back. Okay, this is going to be my final test here. So sometimes I'm going to have to get creative where, say I have, let me actually point it up this way. Sometimes I might have to get creative where I have, you know, say I'm rock climbing or maybe go-karting or something, where maintaining a line of sight is going to be impossible. So what I'm going to do, I do have a multicam function on my editing software. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record the audio and capture the audio through the cell phone. That way the receiver is close to me the entire time. It's actually attached to my body just as the transmitter is. And we'll see if it can get me all the way there, and then if I can match up the audio and blah, blah, blah. So make sure I match up the audio. I'm going to do a clap track. So 1, 2, 3. Now I'll be able to use that to match up my audio. So I'm going to turn this thing on and let's give it a try. Of course, it's pairing with my cell phone, so we'll see if that screws anything up. Hold on, maybe this person's coming. I don't want to get ran over. 1, 2, and up and off. Theoretically, unless maybe the receiver and the transmitter are too close, should really pick up every single thing that I say. I would be surprised if it didn't. If it does, then this is a game changer. The only challenge is going to be if we're recording 2 people at once. You know, then the receiver's on me or on the camera, and that might not be the ideal situation. But for what I'm talking about, you know, it would likely be me rock climbing, then them rock climbing, and then we would see. So I'm going out the same distance just because that's what I've been doing. It really shouldn't matter at all because I'm right next to the receiver, which is clipped onto me facing upwards towards the transmitter, spinning around and coming back to the camera. This is what you would do. You know, sometimes you gotta MacGyver this stuff, guys. You gotta be smart about what you're doing and get creative. Whew. It's been a while since I rode this hoverboard, since like April probably. Got it for my birthday, rode it like 5 times, and then very rarely do I ride it anymore. Ooh, whoa. Hold on there, buddy. Alright, so I'm pretty close back to the camera now. Match all this stuff up, and we will see how it does when I link them up. So just so you know, the way it'll be, guys, is it'll be the camera video, the DSLR, my Canon EOS 6D Mark II, will have the video, but the audio is actually coming from my phone, which is here in my pocket. The receiver is right here, clipped up towards me, and the transmitter is right here. So, there you go.